When I think of laptop perfection, this is what I want. Good afternoon, welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, I'm Reese of the 4-piece warranty Wooks Triple XL, and this is the HP Omen Transcend 14. Transcend by name and Transcend by nature, because this absolutely minute 14-inch laptop, I say minute because of the profile of it, it's basically a MacBook Pro, but way better in like every single way. And also will cost you 20,000 Rand less than a MacBook, and has a better screen and way better graphics, and pretty much almost exactly the same processing power now with the Intel Ultra series, and I can go on and on. It's just better in every single way. I could not imagine buying an M2 or an M3 when this exists, honestly. When those launched, they were very good, but now they've been absolutely obliterated by this Omen. It's super good. The bang for buck here is actually weirdly good. Like, when I review something, I tend to not look at price until I'm finished with reviewing it, so I can go, this is the sort of derived value that I would assume this would give me, and this was 10% cheaper than I actually assumed it would be. So yeah, it's just really good from head to toe. So let's go through it from head to toe. So what's in the box? You obviously get a laptop, and you get a 140-watt charger. This is all housed somehow in 140 watts. And because of that, you might notice the profile is what we would call on the slimmer side. Unlike a rubbish Mac, it also has way better port setup as well. So on the right-hand side, we have ye olde Thunderbolt 4 with a proper full headphone jack, well, a 3-in-1 actually. So it's got stereo and then the microphone. Then on the left-hand side, you've got 2 USB Type A's. And then at the back, you've got another Type C, which is used for the charging, right next to an HDMI port. So you can output 4K from that HDMI port. The keyboard and the touchpad are exceptional, especially this really big touchpad. I absolutely love that. The keyboard has been made by HyperX, as you can see by the logo over there, as well as their audio setup, which it has speakers in this that are unreasonably good. But the backlighting and such on the keyboard from HyperX is really nice. I could improve the diffusing just a little bit, honestly, but these semi-pudding type cups feel really nice, and the general feel from the chiclet keyboard is exceptional. On the underside, the cooling is a dual chamber type design, so there's 2 fan quadrants over there with heat pipes spread across both of the surfaces, and the result of this is you get exceptional performance without having to have a massive chassis. So like I said, this thing is ultra slim on the back end here. It's like sub 20 millimeters. So yeah, it's extremely thin and light. And keep that in mind when we get to the performance results. Another big takeaway from this thing is its monitor. The monitor on this is outstanding. This is a 2880 by 1800 OLED at 120 Hertz. So it's basically a mini LG C1 worth of monitor, and it comes with 100% DCI-P3 and a 0.2 millisecond response time. So there's no such thing as smear, there's no such thing as poor colors or saturation. I never felt for a second that I needed any saturation enhancement, but just as well because it doesn't have a mux switch. It is still using NVIDIA Optimus for the 4060. And that's not really its focus. It's not really focused as a gaming laptop. This thing's more about its processing power. Another add-on that's quite nice with this is they have a full 1080p 30 FPS camera, which is then enhanced through the software by NVIDIA Broadcast. Now, before I get into the performance results from this absolutely exceptional laptop, I am going to go over to the PC where I'm going to feed from this HDMI into my capture card in order to show you the software, because it's pretty comprehensive and it's got a couple of nice little tweaks and features. Alrighty, so this is a quick look at the software. I'm obviously streaming or capturing directly from it. That's why there's black bars inside, because it's 16:10. But anyway, we're capturing direct so that I can show you much nicer, less pixelated, right, than just taking it with a video. Anyway, so as you can see, it's got like a little dashboard and everything like that. But if you go into it, then it gives you a much more complete system vitals. You've got your performance control over here. You've got your lighting control. As I said, there's only static or off right now, which is kind of whack. I saw it can do an RGB on boot. I have no idea where to set it though. Please tell me. Anyway, performance control is where you're going to be doing obviously a lot of your settings and such. You can see your fan speed over here, which is nice, your utilization and your temperatures as well, which is pretty cool. Your graphics switcher is also really nice because then you can switch between integrated graphics only if you're on the go, or hybrid. You do have to do a reboot in order to do that for yourself. You've got the automatic dynamic refresh rate, which you can set as well, so it'll do 60 or 120 hertz. I've got it currently hard set because otherwise it messes with the capture a little bit. And then you've got your key assignments over here, so that you can set your different actions, your macros, etc. on the keyboard, which is very, very nice. So pretty complete. A couple of other things that it's got though that is really nice is this overlay panel. So if I go into this panel over here, once it loads, it gives me the option to have different parts on the overlay, like if I want eco mode or balanced or performance power. From there you can see your CPU and GPU usage over here as well, which is kind of nice. And then you've got another one that can sit up top like that. So you've got actually quite a lot of control over this just directly from this on the fly. You can just close it like that as well, shift F2 to bring it back over there. The cam and the voice enhancer that you're going to see over here is based off of NVIDIA broadcast. So yeah, you can see it's busy connecting to the cam over there. It doesn't have the most exceptional aperture control, but it's actually pretty decent for what it is, to be quite honest with you. The optimizer is also kind of a nice little job over here. So if you go to configure, you can select what you want it to do. For instance, you can have it disable the Windows key, disable, you know, file and printer sharing, memory boost, etc., etc. It's kind of a nice little add-on to have as well. The other thing that's nice in here is they've got their own deals which are exclusive to the platform. So you can see you can get some free games, and you can get games at quite a bit of discount, like up to 50% on some of the newer games. You've got Xbox Game Pass, a free 1-month trial thereof as well with your laptop. So it has been set up to be a gaming and a crossover kind of setup. But I really just like this panel over here that I can easily on the fly, just if I want to have max fan, for instance, if I'm doing a rendering job, it's a one button click. And that little sidebar is absolutely exceptional. It was at this moment that he knew he may have stuffed up, because I actually found that it's on its own little Light Studio app. Somehow I missed it. But anyway, here you can do your selection for your entire thing. And then it obviously has the capability to link with other, probably Omen or HyperX products, so that you can then, you know, keep them all kind of synced. And that, okay, so it does have the thing. I actually said in the review at some point that I wanted this to be changed so that it had that, but it clearly got it, so that's my bad. Anyway, now back to the studio. Now, using those tweaks and features, we managed to get some insane performance from this notebook. The multi-threading performance from this processor is outstanding. It is considerably better than anything else I've ever tested in this sort of form factor, and it's basically a first-gen threadripper. So you get workstation kind of class processing power from something this thin and light. The 4060 is a little bit under spec, you could say, for the 16:10 panel at this kind of resolution. But if you drop it from 2880 to 1920x1200, you get significantly better performance into the 100 FPS range, and then you can use that 120 Hz panel to its fullest extent, as it were, and you still keep a pixel density of 160. Compared to about 206, I think was the what the calculator gave me over there. So it's very, very, very densely packed screen, and then you have that. But that's not, like I said, really what it's focused on. This also has an NPU, so you can use things like generative autofill in Adobe on the NPU instead of the CPU and GPU. And that's going to enhance the battery life, because the Intel Ultra 9 that's in here, 185H, has 2 of the EE cores, the extra efficient cores, which are used for doing lighter applications and stuff. And it gave me 10 hours and 45 minutes worth of continuous video playback. That's right, nearly 11 hours worth of continuous video playback from this. That's outstanding from this unit. And then with that NPU, You can also use other sort of AI, localized AI applications, and then it's going to enhance that even further. So it's got an insane amount of processing performance, and as an on-the-go product for someone that's doing Adobe Suite, like your boy, where I do a lot of Adobe Prem as an example, I can render through that graphics card or through the CPU. You can, as I showed you in the software as well, switch between having it on an NVIDIA Optimus mode or just directly through the onboard graphics card. So this machine at 47,000 Rand is kind of insane. You're getting all of the best features and technologies that you could possibly hope for in a chassis that's not going to break your back. You're not going to get a leg day workout from carrying this around. Keyboard is fantastic, touchpad is fantastic. It's basically perfect, and it's simple in all of the right ways. It's got ports that we actually need, so I don't have to have 27 external dongles. I can just connect a headset if I wanted to. Your Wi-Fi is exceptional as well. It's got good Bluetooth along with that. This gave me like basically gigabit speeds from my PC, which is one of the only ones that's ever maxed out my network, where actually the Wi-Fi was faster than my LAN card. So you're gonna be able to game on it on the go and such. And having to drop my res ever so slightly to make sure that I get pretty good gaming performance. I mean, Cyberpunk at 80 FPS with ray tracing, the LSS and frame generation really does help the situation, I'm not gonna lie. But the fact that I can play AAA games almost on its max res or one step down from that, and it's like completely seamless, is very, very nice. There is a little bit of a problem sometimes with the adaptive sync. The adaptive sync does do 60 or 120 Hertz depending on the application that you're using to help enhance that battery life even further. And it's a really, really nice touch, except like with Metro, it really didn't like it. And even when I set it on just on 60 or 120, I still couldn't get a benchmark run out of the machine without it giving seriously random frame rates. It was the only game that really gave me an issue though. So take it with a pinch of salt, it's probably just a Metro thing. But beyond that, as a laptop, functioning laptop kind of workspace like this, you would much rather take this with you through airports and along with your life, because it doesn't weigh anything. It's really, really easy to transport. Like I say, all of the supporting components are exceptional. This is perfection for me in a laptop. This is what I would want in a really high-end laptop if it was for a workspace kind of environment, especially because of that battery life. 71 watt-hour battery plus NPU plus EE cores from Intel equals, yeah, you pretty much have to plug it in like once a year. And then because it's got Type-C fast charging, it goes from flat to full in about an hour and 20 minutes. So yeah, HP, fine. You want to torture me with this, and then I have to give this sucker back? Sure. The only thing I would want to change, and it's more of a gamer kind of finicky thing, is this keyboard, which just turned off while I was talking. It's zonal RGB and it's static only. I couldn't find a way to just make it go full like RGB wave kind of style, but I would probably just turn it all like white or something, or like a solid color anyway. But yeah, that's about the only thing that I would change on this entire notebook is the backlighting. They mention it has unreasonably good speakers as well. It's kind of like having a boombox on the go, good sound card. Like, they've really knocked it out of the park. Since Victus, since I touched that, I was just like, these guys are really back into the market, and things like this Omen Transcend with the new direction of Intel Ultra is very promising, because they've also got like a chiplet type of design. They're calling it a tile design, where they can swap out components sort of on the fly and just adapt to whatever's new in the market. So that NPU, easily replaceable. More P cores, sure, why not? And they've also done it in an Ultra 7 spec with a 4050 for about 42K. But hey man, if you're spending that kind of money anyway, just go for the big boy, because that processing power, sweet, it's good. Anywho, that's all I've got for you on the HP Omen Transcend 14. If you have enjoyed this, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side.